Would you rather punch a pilgrim or eat an avocado? Probably eat an avocado. You know, guys, I actually feel pretty good today. I feel pretty good. And the reason I say that is because yesterday I was so sick. I felt horrible. Yesterday was miserable. I wanted to die. But today I feel great. So today we're playing some Would You Rather. And I know that this is a little bit old. It's a little bit old, but, you know, I haven't been seeing very much of it recently. And I felt, you know, I kind of miss it. I kind of want to bring it back. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe let me know in the comments if you guys would like to see more of this. So, anyways, let's get on into it. So, would you rather freeze to death in the Arctic or burn to death in the desert? Wow, that is a very, very violent way to start this. Okay, freeze to death in the Arctic or burn to death in the desert. What would take longer? That's the main question to ask, really. I feel like freezing isn't as painful. It's just more uncomfortable. So would I rather die uncomfortably or... But I feel like freezing... You know, I'm gonna do freezing. I'm gonna do freezing. Oh, look at that, 78%. Okay, I guess I was kind of right on that one there. Okay, pretty good. Would you rather play real-life Minecraft or real-life Mario Kart? Oh, ooh, that's difficult because real-life Minecraft, you could get killed by there would be zombie skeletons, the Ender Dragon, there would be way too much really messed up stuff. Whereas Mario Kart, at the same time, you can get killed. I'm gonna say Mario Kart because Minecraft would be way more dangerous. Okay, so more people said Mario Kart. I think that's the main reason people would say Mario Kart. As cool as it would be to play, like, to be in real life Minecraft, I think Mario Kart is the safer option there. It's just more logical. Would you rather live forever or never live? Oh, wow. Ooh. I'm gonna say live forever because it's at least something. Never living, you don't even get to experience anything. And I mean, that's like... I'd rather have something than nothing, and I don't know, I don't think that, like, living forever could be miserable, unless there's a way to, like, might get a little vulgar, but to die. I don't know. This is kind of... I'm gonna go live forever. Oh, 81%. Wow. Okay, yeah. Live forever, I'd say. Would you rather have a lightsaber or have a helper monkey? Helper monkey, obviously. What? People said lightsaber? Obviously, I'm gonna want a helper monkey. A monkey that can just do things for me? That would be amazing. I actually have a monkey back there. I don't know if you can see him. There's his little... Oh, you can just barely see him. There's his little head right there. Wait, this way. There we go. There's his little head. He's laying in my bed. I love my monkey so much, my little stuffed monkey. Okay, would you rather only drink black coffee or only eat dry cereal? Only drink black. I actually take my coffee black anyways, so I don't actually put anything in my coffee, so definitely that one. Wow, people really don't like black coffee. I actually really like black coffee. That's interesting. Would you rather live an average life and be forgotten in time? Wow, okay. Hitting hard questions. Or go down in history for something terrible? Probably just live an average life because I don't want to be a terrible human being. Yeah, what kind of, like, ego would you need to, like, make sure people knew about you to the point that you do something terrible? Like, there's a lot of people out there that exist. Like, people get assassinated just for the fact that the person who assassinated them just wants to be famous or infamous, I guess, but, like, that's messed up, man. Would you rather be a vampire or be a werewolf? I don't know, because vampires, you can't be exposed to the sun, right? Because then you die. You turn into a stone or whatever. You turn into dust, something like that. Because being a vampire, your entire life revolves around the lifestyle of being a vampire, whereas a werewolf, it only happens once every full moon, which is once a month, right? You just have to deal with it for like one night and then you're good. I'd say I'd probably rather be a werewolf. Oh, that is a close one. Wow, I guess vampires are kind of like cool and romantic, but werewolves are also just really cool, so I don't know about that one. Would you rather own a horse in the city or own a cat in the country? Own a cat in the country. What would you do with a horse in the city plus cats? I mean, I am wearing a t-shirt that says I love cats. Would you rather be attacked by 50 duck-sized horses or be attacked by one horse-sized duck? I can't even fathom how many times I've heard this question before. I would rather be attacked by 50 duck-sized horses, because the horse-sized duck I feel like could just smash me into pieces, whereas the 50 duck-sized horses, I could like kick them or something. I don't know. Would you rather light your hands on fire for a minute or light your feet on fire for a minute? My feet. Because my hands, I use my hands for everything. I'm using my hands right now. I'm not using my feet. Not using my feet. I could have my feet up like this. I could have my feet. Hold on. Yeah. Just like that. There. And I can still play this game. Start every sentence with quote, if, quote, oh geez. Or start every sentence with quote, but quote. Oh, this is meant to be, okay, this is just really messed up. So what it's asking is start every sentence with if or start every sentence with but. So it could be like, hey Dennis, would you like to go to the movies today? Then I would say, if I went to the movies, I would have a lot of fun. That would be a good response. And then they said, hey Dennis, would you like to go to the movies today? I would say, but the movies are very fun. So, I think the but is more confusing. I think I'd rather do if. Yeah, there you go, more people did if. Because but means that you're thinking of something else. You're like, yes, but. That's a difficult one, actually. But anyways, would you rather meet your idol or be popular at school? The thing is, here's what I'll tell you guys, is that being popular in school is such a temporary benefit, and it's not even necessarily like a benefit. Here's the thing, is that being popular in school, when you're in school, seems like the most important thing in the world, and then whenever you're out of school, everything that just happened in the past doesn't matter at all. Not even a single bit. If something embarrassing happens to you in school, everyone's gonna forget about it. No one will care. If you feel like you're not popular and you feel like you're lonely, that's not gonna carry on with you for the rest of your life. Don't worry. As soon as school ends, if you still happen to be like that, everyone will forget. No one will care. Trust me on that one. Guys, you have to trust me on that one. Being popular at school isn't everything. And besides, there's a difference between being popular and having friends. So being popular doesn't even necessarily mean that you just have a lot of friends. I've lost friends before because they wanted to be popular. Like, I would have one of my best friends, and then they decided that they wanted to go be with the popular kids who they barely knew, but they left me, and like, I was their best friend at the time. They left me to go be with the popular kids. So being popular doesn't even necessarily mean you have more friends. It just means that you're all acting like you're popular. Like, trust me, the whole thing of like being popular at school is pretty dumb. Trust me on that one, guys. All right, trust me on that. That's something that, like, I guarantee you what I'm saying right now is true. I'm very confident. So I would much rather meet my idol. And there you go. More people have agreed to that rather than being popular at school. So there you go. The general public agrees. On to the next one. Okay. Would you rather spend 5 years in maximum security prison and receive $5 million upon your release, or not go to prison and never become rich? That is very difficult, actually. It depends how old you are at the time, because if you go to prison when you're like 20, you're released at 25, you just lost 5 of like the glory years. I feel like a lot more people would be more willing to lose years. Like, can you go as a baby? Can you go when you're 0 and come out when you're 5? You would be a messed up human being if you went to a maximum security prison. It depends when you actually go to the prison in your life. $5 million though, it also depends what your current financial situation is, because if you are broke and you have no hope to ever really get any, like, if you're gonna be struggling your whole life, then I mean, like, maybe it's worth it. But like, if you're doing fine, if you're doing okay and you're surviving, then I mean, I don't know, that's 5 years of your life. Like, life's pretty short. I don't know about 5 years. You know what? I'm just not gonna go to prison. I'm not gonna go. Well, a lot of people are totally okay. 5 years is a long time, guys. 5 years. Like, let's also think about this. Whenever I was 15, that seemed ages ago. That was only 5 years ago. That seemed, I've known Coral for 5 years. I feel like I've known him my entire life. That's an absurd amount of time. So much happens in 5 years. It's crazy. If you had superpowers from an unknown origin, would you rather allow the government to experiment on you or not allow the government to experiment on you? Not allow the government? What? How's that even a question? What? No, that's such a stupid question. No, I don't want the government constantly keeping me in these rooms where they're running tests on me and stuff. That's really silly. If you could be a duck hero, would you rather be Phantom Duck or Darkwing Duck? Darkwing Duck I always thought sounded way better. Oh, really? Everyone wants Phantom Duck. All right. That's okay. Would you rather teach history or teach math? History. Thing is math is actually really cool. The thing about math, more people struggle with math than they do history, so I feel like it would actually be harder to teach math. It would probably be more frustrating to teach. Math is probably one of the most frustrating things to teach, in all honesty, whereas history, it's almost like you're telling a story. It's like you're talking about the course of history and stuff. If you're a good speaker, then you're pretty much just telling a story to the class, and as long as they're paying attention, then, I mean, it's usually quite easy to wrap your head around, so that's pretty cool. Would you rather own a mini horse or own a regular horse? Probably regular horse. It seems more practical. A mini horse is kind of what would you do with a mini horse? Could you ride it? If you could ride it, then I would. You know, I'm gonna do the regular horse. Yeah, a couple more people said the regular horse. Would you rather die slowly but not much pain, or die fast with a lot of pain? This is, wow. Die fast with a lot of pain. If I'm gonna die, I just want to get it over with. No? Die slowly but not much pain? I'd rather just get it over with, get it out of the way. It would suck, but at least it'd be over with. Because I know I'm going to die anyways. The whole thought in my head of just constantly thinking about how I'm about to die, that would be the most painful part, is the mental pain. Would you rather drive a smart car or drive a Lamborghini and fill up 4 times a week? Yeah, I'd rather do that one. Filling up really isn't that bad. You would also be able to do it just like on your way to something. And filling up takes what, 5 minutes? 20 minutes a week to have a Lamborghini. I would probably rather say that. Okay, here we go. Would you rather get killed by your boyfriend or girlfriend or get killed by your best friend? Killed by boyfriend or girlfriend because you're so much more attached. There's a more like likelihood of, doesn't it just seem, I feel like I hear more about psychopathic, that's not a word. Psychotic, that's the word I'm looking for. I feel like I hear more about psychotic boyfriends and girlfriends than I do best friends. No one ever says, oh, it turns out my best friend was psychotic, but everyone always says like, oh, my girlfriend's a psychopath. So yeah, I would probably choose that one. You wouldn't feel as betrayed. I mean, you would feel betrayed, don't get me wrong, but hold on, regardless, you're getting killed here. I just realized that you're dying anyways. I don't know. I feel like you just wouldn't feel as betrayed in the exact moment, because the best friend is like someone that you have this connection with that isn't for like a sole purpose. You don't become friends with a best friend because you need a friend. It's just because you guys click and you love spending time together, whereas the boyfriend girlfriend, don't get me wrong, you're gonna like connect with this person obviously because you both want to, at least I hope so. Actually, a lot of times that isn't the case. It's a little more like mandatory. I don't know. Maybe I could be totally wrong on that one. Anyways, on to the next one. Would you rather be the president or be a Pokemon trainer? Be a Pokemon trainer. President sounds stressful. Wow, I don't want to be the president. Would you rather not be able to wear clothes or not be able to speak? Wow. Well, I could learn sign language. Sign language, or I could write things down. It would kind of, well, oh man, that would be such a lonely life and it would suck. Not being able to wear clothes though, people would just think you're really weird. Ooh, that's a close one. I don't know, that one just would suck. Would you rather buy a PS4 or an Xbox One? Probably PS4 because I had a PS3 instead of an Xbox. Actually, I also had an Xbox 360, but I actually had the Xbox 360 first, and then I got a PS3, and then I got another Xbox 360 because the first one got the red ring, and then the second one got the red ring, and I realized, you know what, the Xbox just keeps getting the red ring, I'm gonna stick with the PS3. So I got really used to PS3. Plus, PS3 has some of my favorite games. My favorite game of all time is The Last of Us, which is only available on PlayStation, so there's that. It also has Little Big Planet. I don't know if you guys ever played Little Big Planet, but that's also one of my most favorite games of all time. PS4 has Little Big Planet 3. Xbox don't have that. Xbox don't have that. I'm gonna go PS4. Oh, a lot more people are saying PS4 than Xbox One. I'm actually really surprised by that. Also, PS4, I believe, has better hardware. It's just objectively faster than the Xbox One. I think I'm right on that one. I'm not too sure. Would you rather have to sleep 3 hours every day or have to sleep 15 hours every day. Oh, I see. You have to cope with 3 hours of sleep, or you have to cope with 15 hours of sleep. Well, 15 hours of sleep still means you have 9 hours in the day. Then again, 9 hours is not a lot of time. The thing is, here's the thing. If you get 3 hours of sleep every day, you would be miserable the whole day. You really would be. You would be tired. You wouldn't have the energy to do a lot of things. 15 hours, you would feel so refreshed, but you wouldn't have time to get anything done. I don't think I'd be able to live with 9 hours. Oh, this is the hardest question ever. Thing is, I don't sleep that much anyways. I sleep for like 6 hours a day. So 3 hours isn't that much less. But you would probably be unhealthy. You would probably live here. You know what? This is it. You would live a shorter life if you only got 3 hours of sleep every day. Whereas if you got 15 hours of sleep, your life would be significantly longer just because of how much more healthy your body would be. So I'm gonna go with that one simply for the fact that it would actually extend my life. Whereas the 3 hours, although yes, you get more time in the day, you actually would probably live significantly less time in life. Ugh, I don't know, man. That question was a hard-hitting one there. Okay, would you rather punch a pilgrim or eat an avocado? Probably eat an avocado. Would you rather have no eyebrows or have a unibrow? Oh, that would suck. If you had a unibrow, though, couldn't you just, like, shave in the middle, or are you forced to have that? Unibrows are fixable. Having no eyebrows, you can just draw them on, but that would suck, too. I'm gonna say unibrow, with the assumption I could shave it, but regardless, I'd still probably choose unibrow anyways, even though that would suck. Wow. Very, thing is, actually, a lot of girls don't have eyebrows. They, like, choose not to have eyebrows, just so that they can draw on. That's really weird to think about. If you were a TV executive, would you rather, oh, that's poorly written. If you were a TV executive, would you rather resurrect your favorite canceled show of all time for one season or cancel your most hated show? Absolutely cancel my most hated show. It's a perfect 50-50. Oh, even though this one technically has more votes. I wonder if they did decimals. No, there's no point in doing decimals. It's a 50-50. Very interesting. Would you rather poop rainbows or vomit rainbows? Vomit rainbows. What? Poop rainbows? Vomiting rainbows would be way better because vomiting sucks, whereas pooping is like an everyday normal task. And you don't even see it because you sit on the toilet and then it's gone. You don't even have to look down at it. Although a lot of people do. Like, don't you feel like whenever you poop and then you stand up, don't you like turn around and gaze upon your creation that you have just emitted into this earth? There it is. I have created you. That's pooping. But no, vomiting sucks. I'd rather vomit rainbows. Would you rather have been to Hogwarts or trained under Obi-Wan Kenobi? Been to Hogwarts. Oh! Then again, if you trained under Obi-Wan Kenobi, then that means you'd be a Jedi. Actually, no, because you have to be a Jedi in order to be trained. So if you were a normal person trained under Obi-Wan Kenobi, you'd probably be like really acrobatic and fit, but you wouldn't be a Jedi necessarily. Having been to Hogwarts, I guess if you're a muggle, then you also can't do magic. So really, in the end, it doesn't actually matter for either. I think Hogwarts would just be a really cool sight to see with your eyes. Obi-Wan Kenobi would also be a really cool sight to see with your eyes. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here for Would You Rather. Please let me know in the comments below if you do enjoy this type of content. It's a little bit different than what I usually do, but I really hope you guys do enjoy it because I love making these types of videos. So please, 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 if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to give it a like, maybe even subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And don't forget to check out my I Love Cats t-shirt. You can get it at DenisDaily.com, or there's a link in the description below. But other than that, fellas, I will see you in the next one.